There's a dry wash south of the Arizona line where I buried a pistol in '99, wrapped in a bandana with a dead man's ring and the last clean piece of anything. His name was Gabriel, he rode by my side till the card game turned and the bottle light. I drew in anger, saw the muzzle flash, and heard my whole life shatter in the glass. I told the law he left town, headed east, told his woman he ran from the life he'd keep. But the desert don't forget what a man's hands do. Every night those coyotes sing it back true. Coyotes sing for the guilty at night under dead star heaven and a moonbone light. They call through the cactus, they cry through the stone for the men we put down and pretend are gone. Let the dry sand shiver, let the old grave speak. I've been strong for the lie, now I'm done being weak. When the wind finds my name where the lost ones lie. Coyotes sing for the guilty tonight. Sing low, desert wide. Truth comes home in the night. I found this woman in a trailer outside Page. Two grown sons and a face lined with age. She opened that door with a guarded stare, said, "I've seen that bike while you're here." I held out the ring, couldn't lift my eyes. Said Gabriel never left, I buried him in lies. I was drunk, I was angry, and I took his life. Then I stole your goodbye and I stole your right. A roller boy hit me till I tasted dirt. I didn't raise a hand, didn't dodge the hurt. She stopped him crying, said, "Show me where." And the desert went silent when I led them there. Coyotes sing for the guilty at night under dead star heaven and a moonbone light. They call through the cactus, they cry through the stone for the men we put down and pretend have gone. Let the dry sand shiver, let the old grave speak. I've been strong for the lie, now I'm done being weak. When the wind finds my name where the lost ones lie. Coyotes sing for the guilty tonight. Showed a rusted chain, his bandana faded by years of rain. His woman fell down, pressed her hand to the ground, and made a kind of cry that don't carry a sound. I said, "Call the sheriff, I'll wait right here." She looked in my jacket through a lifetime of tears, said, "Prison won't give him back to my door, but you don't get to ride from his name anymore." I took them his body, I gave them his truth, gave up the legend I wore in my youth. When the patrol lights painted the desert red, I heard those coyotes singing for the dead. Coyotes sing for the guilty at night under dead star heaven and a hard white light. They call through the cactus, they cry through the stone for a brother I killed and finally brought home. Let the cell door close, let the old grave speak. A man ain't forgiven just because he comes clean, but when the wind finds my name where the lost ones lie, I'll answer those coyotes till the day I die. Gabriel, brother, truth came to There's a chapel made of boards outside Santa Fe, with a crooked wooden door and a paint worn away. I pulled and shaking with the sunset red, a saddlebag full of letters I never sent. One for a woman who waited too long, one for a daughter who grew up gone, one for myself when my hands were clean, before I traded love for a running machine. I took out a match and I held it high, felt 40 hard years staring through my eye. A man can't burn every scar he earned, but he can face the smoke when the pages burn. One last match in the desert wind, for the man I was and the road I've been, for the vows I broke, for the hands I lost, for the miles I bought at a terrible cost. Let the flame rise up, let the black smoke roll. I ain't burning memories, I'm freeing my soul. When the ash falls down and the night rolls in, I'll ride lighter with the desert wind. Burn slow. Let it go. Desert wind, carry it home. I found a small cross in the chapel dust, someone left behind when they ran out of trust. I ain't been praying since I was 19, but I held that wood like it knew what I mean. Outside my old bike coughed and shook, same as my hands when I opened her book. A little girl drawing in purple and blue said, "Daddy, come back, I've been waiting for you." The ink had faded, but the words cut clean. No highway ever ran as far as me. I put that drawing inside my vest, said maybe old sinners still get one test. One last match in the desert wind, for the man I was and the road I've been, for the vows I broke, for the hands I lost, for the miles I bought at a terrible cost. Let the flame rise up, let the black smoke roll. I ain't burning memories, I'm freeing my soul. When the ash falls down and the night rolls in, I'll ride lighter with the desert wind. I burned every letter but the one with her name. Some files release you, some show you the blame. I turned that envelope over in my hand, saw an address written in another state. Maybe she'll hate me, maybe she should. Maybe sorry don't repair what it could. But I ain't dying with the truth unsaid, or leaving another ghost in my stead. Old chrome shaking, new road wide, crossing my pocket, drawn inside. No promise of mercy, no guarantee, just a door somewhere waiting on me. One last match in the desert wind, for the man I was and the road I've been, for the vows I broke, for the hands I lost, for the life still left after paying the cost. Let the flame die down, let the dawn begin. I ain't the same fool who rode in when the ash falls cold and the sun breaks thin. I'll ride forward with the desert wind. last match in the desert wind. Bridge north of Baton Rouge, where the river runs black and the lights burn blue. Me and Johnny crossed it 100 times. Two young devils on borrowed lives. He kept a brass belt tied beneath his bars. Said it scared bad spirits from traveling far. The night it went down, that bell rang once. Then silence rolled in like a loaded gun. I pulled that bell from his shattered frame, kept it 12 years beside his name. But a promise buried still drags a man till he finishes what his brother began. Ring that bell at Mercy Bridge for the fallen boys and the lives we live, for the whiskey nights and the vows we broke, for a brother still riding through the smoke. Let the river rise, let the cold wind roll. I got his last wish burning in my soul, till his son hears why his father never came. Ring that bell and speak his name. Ring low, river roll, ride on, brother soul. Down in Lafayette, only 2 years old when his son went black. I told myself the kid was better alone than hearing road tales from a man like me. But I found him working in a tie shop, babe. Same dark eyes, same crooked way. He saw that bell hanging off my machine, said my mama's got a picture of one like these. I couldn't lie, couldn't ride away. I said, son, your daddy saved my life that day. He pushed me clear when the steel came fast, and he gave you his tomorrow with his last. Ring that bell at Mercy Bridge for the fallen boys and the lives we live, for the whiskey nights and the vows we broke, for a brother still riding through the smoke. Let the river rise, let the cold wind roll. I got his last wish burning in my soul. Now his son knows why his father never came. Ring that bell and speak his name. Oh, oh, just closed his fist around that bell like a sacred gift. Said, take me there where my father fell. So 2 bikes rolled out beneath that bell. At the bridge rail, he tied it down. Let that brass voice shake the ground, and said, oh man, you carried him far, I'll carry him now. Wherever we are, river below, new engines high. One old grief finally learned to ride. The bell rang clear through the breaking dawn, like Johnny's saying, boys roll on. Ring that bell at Mercy Bridge for the fallen boys and the lives we live, for the blood we gave and the love we owe, for a father's fire in his son's soul. Let the river rise, let the his name. Mercy Bridge, a river below. Ring for my brother and let him go. I kept buried inside. I got a folded note in my leather coat and a tank full of reasons not to go home. The paper said my old man passed last night. No final word, no chance to make it right. Just a graveyard time and a preacher's name, and 30 hard years of unfinished blame. He raised me with a fist and an iron stare, taught me mercy was for men too scared. I swore I'd never turn into his kind, but his shadow kept growing inside of mine. Blood moon on the county line, watching two dead hearts collide tonight. I got his rage in my veins, his curse in my name. Been riding my whole life from the same old flame. Let the red sky burn, let the church bell toll. I ain't leaving this weight in another man's soul. Before the morning comes, before the stars resign, I'll bury that fire on the county line. Bury that fire, county line. Break that chain tonight. Came down, saw black coats standing on sacred ground. My sister looked older than I remembered her, held a little boy with his grandfather stare. She said, "You vanished when I needed you most." I had no answer that could bury that ghost. Then she said, "That child don't need what we became." Something in me broke when she spoke his name. I stood by the casket, couldn't shed a tear, just felt every year that I fed my fear. Laid my old man's ring in the cold wet clay, said, "What you put in me dies here today." Blood moon on the county line, watching two dead hearts collide tonight. I got his rage in my veins, his curse in my name. Been riding my whole life from the same old flame. Let the red sky burn, let the church bell toll. I ain't leaving this weight in another man's soul. Before the morning comes, before the stars resign, I'll bury that fire on the county line. Oh. Through the mud, said, "Mama says your family blood." I looked at his hands, clean and small, and saw a chance to end it all. I ain't your hero, I ain't your saint. I carry a darkness I learned to hate, but I never raised fear where love should grow. stone. First time in years I didn't feel alone. One old curse beneath the ground, one new engine turning around. Blood moon on the county line, fade with the ghost I laid down tonight. I got his blood in my veins, but his rage ain't mine. I can choose what I carry when I cross that line. Let the red sky fade, let the church bell roll. I ain't passing that fire to another man's soul. When the morning comes and the first sun shines, I'll leave that curse on the county line. Blood moon fading, blood moon fading, black road wide. Blood moon left that fire on the county line. On the county line. Flickering sign, coffee gone cold at the county line. A waitress wiping down an empty booth said you look like a man still running from truth. I smiled like a fool, left $1 and change, walked into a wind that remembered my name. My bike coughed smoke like an old man's prayer in the dead road quiet in the midnight air. I spent my young blood working for the night, breaking every good thing tried to make me right. Now the road keeps time with a heart gone cold, and the headlights dig through the stories I told. I'm on the graveyard shift on Highway 6, riding with the ghost that I never could fix. Got a moon like a bullet and a tank half gone, a soul punching in till the break of dawn. Let the blacktop judge me, let the engine confess. I wear my worst nights underneath this vest, when the whole world sleeps and the lost men exist. I'm on the graveyard shift on Highway 6, night shift. Highway 6, roll on through the mist. A shop downtown could fix any motor, never let me down. I stole from his drawer for a bottle one night. He still took my call when I lost that fight. By the time I came back with my head on straight, cancer had written his closing date. He gave me his gloves, said quit wasting your breath, then laughed like a man not afraid of death. I keep those gloves folded under my seat, his grease in the leather, his strength in me. Every time my hands grip the bars too tight, I hear him saying, brother, ride it right. I'm on the graveyard shift on Highway 6, riding with the ghost that I never could fix. Got a moon like a bullet and a tank half gone, a soul punching in till the break of dawn. Let the blacktop judge me, let the engine confess. I wear my worst nights underneath this vest, when the whole world sleeps and the lost men exist. I'm on the graveyard shift on Highway 6. Highway 6. stopped at his grave where the mesquite grows, laid down a wrench and a single rose. Said, Ray, I ain't fixed, but I'm trying still. Wind rolls soft over that lonely hill. I ain't worthy of the things you gave, but I won't let your love lie down in that grave. I pulled on your gloves, let the old bike twist and rode back out on Highway 6. One more mile, one less lie, one less bottle in the dead of night. The dawn ain't mercy, but it gives a man one more chance to do what he can. I'm on the graveyard shift on Highway 6, riding with the ghost, learning how to live. Got the moon fading out and the tank still strong. My brother in my hands as I roll toward dawn. Let the blacktop witness, let the engine confess. I carry his name underneath this vest. When the morning breaks through the smoke and mist, I'll ride out clean from Highway 6. Ray's old gloves, sun coming through. One more road, I'll ride it true. Fire in the morning at the county line, black coffee burning like a warning sign. Rain on the window, ash in the tray. Another town behind me, another debt to pay. The girl at the counter didn't ask my name. She's seen enough drifters wearing the same. Cold-eyed silence, worn-out boots. Men who lost everything but the truth. I left my good intentions in Tennessee, left my last forgiveness in New Orleans. All I got now is a tank and a spark, and a reason to keep moving through the dark. Black coffee and gasoline, the only blood running clean through me. Got a bad moon hanging where my heart should be, in a dead-end past that won't let me leave. I ain't looking for love, I ain't begging for peace, just a long black road where my ghost can't reach. With a fist full of scars and an old machine, I'm living on black coffee and gasoline. Gasoline, keep that engine mean. Gasoline. I once had a porch with a swing out back, a woman in white and a dog named Jack. She put my hand on a cradle one night, said, choose this home or that endless ride. I stood there frozen with my helmet down, too proud to stay, too lost to turn around. Now that boy's grown somewhere without my face, and I keep his birthday tucked in my case. Some roads ain't freedom, they only run from the damage that a man has done. But shame don't turn these wheels around, it only makes that engine louder now. Black coffee and gasoline, the only blood running clean through me. Got a bad moon hanging where my heart should be, in a dead-end past that won't let me leave. I ain't looking for love, I ain't begging for peace, just a long black road where my ghost can't gasoline. Boy, I pulled off once by an old payphone. Had a number memorized down to the bone. My hand hit the buttons, but I couldn't speak. Just listen to the ring till my knees went weak. Maybe one day I'll face what I left behind. Maybe grace is waiting past the county line. But tonight this road is all I know. A bitter cup and a motor load. No gold on my hand, just a wreck of a heart and a runaway man. Still breathing smoke, still tasting regret, still chasing the dawn I ain't found yet. Black coffee and gasoline, the only blood running clean through me. Got a bad moon hanging where my heart should be, and a dead end past that won't let me leave. I ain't looking for love, I ain't begging for peace. Just a long black road where my ghost can't reach, with a fistful of scars and an old machine. I'm living on black coffee and gasoline. Black coffee, gasoline. One more sunrise that I might never see. I crossed that bridge at 2:15. Red River rolling like an old woman do. Had a black leather bag and a photograph of a life I killed with the roads I chose. There was smoke from mills in the midnight air, a church bell ringing but nobody there. I shut off the bike where the river turns wide and heard all the things that I kept inside. I said a name to the muddy shore like I hadn't said it 1,000 times before. Some men get forgiven, some men just learn to stand in the ashes and feel them burn. The smoke over Red River, fire in my past, a love I couldn't hold and a life moving fast. I got a tank full of sorrow, a heart built to roam, but every road I ride still points me home. Let the dark water run, let the old bridge shake. I got one more truth that my pride can take. When the night strips a man down to blood and bone, the smoke over Red River, and I ride alone, ride alone. River road, smoke behind, heavy soul. Her daddy owned a shop on the eastern bank, fixed my busted chain when my pockets were blank. She brought me coffee in a chipped white cup, smile like a reason, ma'am, I give up. I gave her a ring from a pawn shop case, then disappeared when the wedding got close. Left one note saying I wasn't built to stay. Truth is, I was scared she'd see me break. 20 years later, that bridge still stands, same brown wall, shaking hands. I heard she moved on, heard she did alright. That don't stop her ghost from riding tonight. The smoke over Red River, fire in my past, a love I couldn't hold, and a life moving fast. I got a tank full of sorrow, a heart built to roam, but every road I ride still points me home. Let the dark water run, let the old bridge shake. I got one more truth than my pride can take. When the night strips a man down to blood and bone, the smoke over Red River, and I'll ride alone. I took that photograph out of my coat, held it over the water, then let it go. Watched a young face turn under the moon, till the river carried away that room. I don't deserve her, I know that's true. Some damage stays when the leaving is through, but I can stop dragging the name through the night. I can let a memory rest in the light. No more hiding in a whiskey glass, no more making a home of the past. I ain't here, but I finally know you can't ride forward with a grave and told the smoke over Red River, fading at last. A love I couldn't hold and a life moving fast. I got a tank full of sorrow, but the dawn coming on, and for the first time in years I can ride and move on. Let the dark water run, let the old bridge shake. I left one truth for the river to take. When the night strips a man down to blood and bone, the smoke over Red River, but I'm riding home. Smoke on the water, dawn in my soul, Red River behind me, I'm riding home. Flickering white light, rain on my leather, nowhere in sight. A young kid pulled in on a rusted machine, with fear in his eyes and blood on his sleeve. He said, "Mister, don't call no law tonight." I put my old man down in the kitchen fight. He swung at my mama, I did what I could. I saw my own rage where that young rider stood. I knew that shaking, knew that flame, how one hard second can bury a name. The road don't save you from what you've done, but a man can stop another from learning to run. We're sinners at the gas station light, two broken shadows in the pouring night, with our hands full of hurt and our hearts full of blame, trying not to feed another life to the flame. Let the cold rain fall, let the blue lights come. A man ain't brave just because he runs on the buzzing heaven beneath that white light. Well, sinners face the night. No more running, make it right. I bought him coffee, took his knife away. He said, son, hear every word I say. I spent half my life where the iron door slammed for thinking rage was the measure of a man. His mama pulled in with a bruised left eye, held that boy like she couldn't let him die. Sirens rolled softly over the hill. He looked at me once, then he stood still. They put him in cuffs, but he walked straight, no ties, screaming through a lifelong mistake. His mother whispered, I don't know your name. I said, just someone who once chose shame. We're sinners at the gas station light, two broken shadows in the pouring night, with our hands full of hurt and our hearts full of blame, trying not to feed another life to the flame. Let the cold rain fall, let the blue lights come. A man ain't brave just because he runs on the buzzing heaven beneath that white light. We're sinners trying to set one thing right. Before they drove him off, he said, will I be okay? I looked at those cuffs and the rain on his face. Said it won't be easy, it won't be clean, but you ain't the worst thing you've ever been. I watched those taillights fade into black, felt 20 lost years climbing my back. Then I saw my reflection in the pump glass shining. For once that stranger looked me in the eye. No preacher near, no church bell sound, just water and oil on holy ground. Sometimes redemption don't blaze bright, it shakes in the rain under fluorescent light. We're sinners at the gas station light, still carrying scars through the pouring night, with our hands full of hurt but our hearts still awake, learning one good choice can change what we make. Let the cold rain fall, let the morning come. A man stands taller when he quits the run, on the buzzing heaven beneath that white light. One sinner helped another face the night. Gas station, halo, dawn burning white. One more broken man riding right. Black roses at a roadside cross, for a brother's life and a brother's loss. His helmet hangs on a weathered post, facing the road like a restless ghost. His woman comes every Sunday rain, wipes off the mud from his silver chain. I watch from a distance, too ashamed, 'cause I was the one who started that race. I said, come on brother, show me a speed. Two drunk fools feeding a young man's need. I made that turn but it lost control, and every year since then has taken its toll. Black roses at the roadside cross don't cover the truth, don't soften the loss. I hear his engine every time mine roars, hear his last breath behind every door. Let the rain come down, let it wash these stones. I got a living man's skin and a dead man's bones, till I face the ones who pay roadside cross, black roses, cold rain, one cross, one name. One Sunday morning, she saw me there, old leather jacket, gray in my hair. She didn't scream, didn't turn away, just said, took you long enough to find this place. I dropped my eyes like a guilty boy, said I'd trade my life to give back yours. She said he chose that bike, he chose that run, but you chose to hide from what was done. She handed me clothes and a jar of water, said his cross needs care and so does his daughter. A little girl stood with his chin and a smile, holding black roses all the while. Black roses at the roadside cross don't cover the truth, don't soften the loss. I hear his engine every time mine roars, hear his last breath behind every door. Let the rain come down, let it wash these stones. I got a living man's skin and a dead man's bones, till I help heal what that night took off. I'll keep bringing black roses to the roadside cross. His daughter said, Mama told me you were his friend. I swallowed hard, said right to the end. She gave me a rose, said you put this down. My knees hit the mud on that sacred ground. I said, brother, I stayed gone too long, turned your memory into everything wrong. But I'll show up now, as long as I breathe, for the family you loved and the grace I don't deserve to receive. No more watching from the far dark side, no more letting guilt be the only right. Some debts aren't paid with a grave or flame, they're paid by standing and carrying a name. Black roses at the roadside cross still mark the truth, still honor the loss. I hear his engine every time mine roars, but I don't hide from that sound anymore. Let the rain come down, let it wash these stones. I'm building something good from his broken bones, with this girl holding tight as the cold wind talks. We laid fresh black roses at the roadside cross. Black roses falling, rain turning soft. Rest easy, brother, at the roadside cross. Rode into Memphis with the river running high, a stolen memory and a storm in my eyes. Beale Street sleeping under blue neon rain, same old corner, still remember my shame. There was a club in an alley where the back doors breathe, where I made one promise I was too weak to keep. A brother named Ellis took a fall meant for me, while I rode out west pretending I was free. He did 8 hard years with his mouth shut tight, never gave my name, never asked me to ride. Now I got his release date burned in my vest, and a dead no highway ever laid to rest. I got a midnight dead in Memphis town, a brother I buried while he still walked around. Got his time on my conscience, got his blood in my pride, and no more empty road where a coward can hide. Let the thunder begin. I can't buy back years, but I can face my sin. When that prison gate opens and the truth comes down, I pay my midnight debt in Memphis town. Pay it down, Memphis town. No more running, turn around. I parked by the gate at 9:15, held his old helmet from another life. When he stepped outside with a gray in his beard, he looked right through me like I wasn't there. I said, Ellis, I know what I stole. He lit up a smoke, said you stole more than roads. My little boy grew while I learned prison walls. My woman quit coming after my 3rd year gone. I reached for the keys to take what is mine. He said, a bike don't replace no lost time. You wanna pay something, stand where I stand, and help me remember I still am a man. I got a midnight dead in Memphis town, a brother I buried while he still walked around. Got his time on my conscience, got his blood in my pride, and no more empty road where a coward can hide. Let the thunder begin. I can't buy back years, but I can face my sin. With his cold eyes open and the truth coming down, I pay my midnight debt in Memphis town. Sons apart in the south side of town. We stayed on that sidewalk, couldn't make a sound. I said, nah, brother. He shook his head, said, what does a father say when his boy thought him dead? I said, tell him the truth, don't dress it in gold. Tell him you're sorry and you're trying to hold. That door swung open, the young man stood still and said, Dad. And the whole night healed. I stood in the rain outside their embrace, felt some old iron fall out of place. A dead ain't ended when a man says his name, but tonight I stopped adding more weight to the chain. I had a midnight dead in Memphis town, a brother I buried while he still walked around. Got his years on my conscience, got truth by my side, and I'll spend what remains helping men what I denied. Let the river roll on, let the stormwater cleanse. Some debts never vanish, but a man can make amends. When the sunrise broke over that rain-washed ground, I faced my midnight debt in Memphis town. Stand your ground, stand your ground. Beside, debt still heavy, but no place to hide. sign. Dust on my boots and smoke in my eyes. One hand on the throttle, nowhere left to go. Three of us laughing with the devil back then. I carry two names carved under my skin. The fire still burns when the cold wind blows. The ghost right beside me wherever I go. I poured my mercy in a whiskey glass, watched it burn with the wreckage of the past. The night I asked what I am running from, I opened up the engine and said run. There ain't no grave on this road for me, no chain on my bones, no key. Ash in my lungs and blood on my chrome. Hell in my back, but I'm riding home. Let the black sky fall, let the hard wind roll. I paid for freedom with pieces of my soul. When the last light dies and the cold truth shows, I'll still be riding. There ain't no grave on this road. No grave, no grave on this road. Still riding on. The road brass light lies under my seat. She said these ghosts would pull me below. Some things are broken, man, cannot let go. A worn-out Bible in a saddlebag, a brother's patch and a faded black rag. Every mile takes something I can't replace. Every roadside mirror shows a harder face. A preacher said a lost man ought to kneel. My own church is steel on steel. I don't ask heaven to forgive my sins, just open up the midnight and let me in. There ain't no grave on this road for me, no chain on my bones, no key. Ash in my lungs and blood on my chrome. Hell in my back, but I'm riding home. Let the black sky fall, let the hard wind roll. I paid for freedom with pieces of my soul. When the last light dies and the cold truth shows, I'll still be riding. There ain't no grave on this road. I never said. I called out the brothers I lost, swore I would carry whatever it cost. I ain't clean, I ain't saved, I ain't the boy my mother once raised. But this stone heart beats beneath my coat, and as long as it beats, I ride through the smoke. If the fire wants me, let it call my name. If the road wants blood, I already paid. If dawn never finds me when the sun turns gold, tell my brothers I never saw my soul. There ain't no grave on this road for me, no chain on my bones, no key. Ash in my lungs and blood on my chrome. Hell in my back, but I'm riding home. Let the black sky fall, let the hard wind roll. I paid for freedom with pieces of my soul. When the last light dies and the cold truth shows, I'll still be riding. There ain't no grave on this road. No grave, no grave, no grave on this road. Still riding home. Ash in my lungs, miles left to go. No grave on this gas Tucson leaning in the sand, shot full of holes by some desperate hand. Mile 99 where the blacktop bends, where the good road quits and the bad road begins. I pulled off slow with a tank near dry, red sun sinking like a bloodshot eye. Saw my own face in the chrome turn dark, like a tight old dog still chasing the spark. I made deals with hunger, made peace with pain, slept through thunder, rode through rain. But a man hears truth when the night gets still, and mine was waiting at the foot of that hill. At the devil's mile marker I drew my line, said you took enough, what's left is mine. You can have my failures, you can have my scars, but you ain't taking this engine or this outlaw heart. Let the dry wind howl, let the night turn black. I burned every bridge, I ain't riding back with my hands on the bars and my soul getting harder. I rode straight through the devil's mile marker, right through, ride harder, no turning back. Mile marker. I knew a man named Cole with a silver tooth, had a laugh like sin and a heart still true. He pulled me free from a ditch one night, said don't let your anger choose every fight. 3 years later I got word down south, a loaded gun and a bottle took him out. I cursed his weakness till I understood. I've been rolling toward the same dogwood, so I threw my flask where the cactus grows. Let the whiskey spill for the ghosts I know. If the dark wants a man, it can chase my light, but I ain't feeding that hunger tonight. At the devil's mile marker I drew my line, said you took enough, what's left is mine. You can have my failures, you can have my scars, but you ain't taking this engine or this outlaw heart. Let the dry wind howl, let the night turn black. I burned every bridge, I ain't riding back with my hands on the bars and my soul getting harder. I rode straight through the devil's mile marker. Mile marker. I saw that boy I used to be in the dust beside that broken sign. Clean blue eyes, a heart still free. Before I made this wreckage mine, I said, son, I lost years, I lost love, I lost men I still dream of, but I ain't lost breath, I ain't lost road, and I ain't dying carrying this load. No more bottle, no more blame, no more kneeling to a dead man's shame. One hard turn, one burning spark, one set of headlights cutting through the dark. At the devil's mile marker I drew my line, said you took enough, what's left is mine. You can have my failures, you can have my scars, but you ain't taking this engine or this outlaw heart. Let the dry wind howl, let the night turn black. I burned every bridge, I ain't riding back with my hands on the bars and my soul getting harder. I rode straight through the devil's mile marker. Mile line tonight, left in the dark, still got my engine, still got my heart. Through a town where I once had friends, same corner store, same railroad bend. The paint had peeled from the old pool hall. My name wasn't carved there anymore. There was a girl who knew my scars by heart, said I was born with a leaving part. I told her someday I'd circle back, then vanished west on a midnight black. Years turn a man to a stranger's face. Even memories move when you don't stay. I thought the miles would keep my legend alive, but the world rolled on while I just survived. The road won't say my name no more, won't leave a light outside my door. I gave it my blood, I gave it my youth. It took every lie, left me the truth. Let the wheels run cold, let the night wind claim all the pride I carried like a burning flame. I rode for forever, but forever changed. Now the road won't say my name, no name, no home, still ride alone. At a roadside stand, silver in her hair, a ring on her hand. She looked through me first, then her eyes went wide. Said, I heard you were dead sometime in 9 to 5. I laughed too hard, then I looked away. Said, death and me never fixed today. She poured me coffee, asked where I'd been. I said, mostly losing what I should have kept then. A little boy called from a pickup truck. She smiled in a way that said life grew up. I wanted to tell her I still dreamed of face, but a man don't steal peace from the life he replaced. The road won't say my name no more, won't leave a light outside my door. I gave it my blood, I gave it my youth. It took every lie and left me the truth. Let the wheels run cold, let the night wind claim all the pride I carried like a burning flame. I rode for forever, but forever changed. Now the road won't say my name. Up for the road, said you don't have to keep carrying alone. I almost told her I didn't know how, almost asked if it was too late now. But her husband waved from the driver's seat, good steady man with a smile at me. So I touched my hat, said you look alright, and took my old ghost back into the night. No one stole her, no one stole my years. I traded them myself for gears and fear. But the truth ain't cruel when you let it stay. It's the first clean sign on a different way. The road won't say my name no more, but I don't need it to keep score. curse still out in my head. He said, boy, that road will take all you want. I laughed through my teeth and I rode along. I had a girl with a cross on a chain, soft blue eyes and a heart without stain. She prayed I'd return before the winter came. I sent back silence and carried the shame. Now every motel room got a Bible drawer. Every page says what I already know. There ain't no mercy in a runaway heart when it leaves good love bleeding in the dark. Saints don't ride this far into the night with whiskey breath and knuckles wide. Saints don't leave their angels crying alone, then chase their shadows down a road of stone. I got no wings, got no shining star, just an engine in the way to who we are. If heaven wants me, it knows where to start. But saints don't ride this far. Ride far, ride hard, no halo, just scars. I met a drifter at a roadside fire, gray beard shaking, eyes still tired. He said, I rode 40 years to outrun my name, but a man ain't free when he drags his chains. He held a letter with an unopened seal, said, from my son, but I don't know how to feel. Then he fed it to the flame with a trembling hand, and I saw my own end in that broken man. I pulled a picture from beneath my coat, found the old address on the back she wrote. Maybe that door closed years before, but I ain't dying without knocking once more. Saints don't ride this far into the night with whiskey breath and knuckles wide. Saints don't leave their angels crying alone, then chase their shadows down a road of stone. I got no wings, got no shining star, just an engine in the way to who we are. If heaven wants me, it knows where to start. But saints don't ride this far. With the porch painted blue, a child's old bicycle, flowers in bloom. A man answered softly, said, can I help you, friend? I saw her through the curtain, then turned again. I didn't knock, didn't call her name. Some apologies only reopen pain. So I left that cross by the mailbox light and whispered, you deserved a better life. I ain't redeemed, I ain't made clean, but I finally faced what my leaving means. No prayer can change what these hands let fall, but a man can stop running before he loses all. Saints don't ride this far into the night with whiskey breath and knuckles wide. Saints don't leave their angels crying alone and chase their shadows down a road of stone. I got no wings, got no shining star, just an engine and a healing scar. If heaven wants me, it knows where to start, yeah. Saints don't ride this far. No halo, just skies. Crossed by by the roadside, dawn in my heart, no saint behind me, just a man making a start. County road empty, running late. A black tie ribbon turns into stone, where a man meets every truth alone. I stopped by the hill with the wooden cross, bottle in my hand for the boys we lost. The names cut deep where the wild weeds grow, and the night stood still on that gravel road. I said, brothers, I ain't been living right, been chasing the dark, been feeding the fight. But I heard that wind through the dead oak trees, like their old voices calling back to me. Sing me a gravel road requiem for the wild ones gone and the man I've been, for the broken wheels and the promises burned, for every lesson I was too proud to learn. Let the dust rise high, let the night unfold. I got scars for silver and regret for gold, till my last breath falls where the cold winds blow. Sing me a requiem on that gravel road. Ride low, ride slow, for the ones below that gravel road. There was a boy in me before all this, before hard liquor and a goodbye kiss. He had clean hands and a woman's trust, before the road ground everything to dust. She begged me once by the kitchen door, said, you keep leaving, I can't love you more. I heard her cry and still turn that key. Some wounds ain't done till they set you free. I ain't asking for the past returned, or a clean white soul where my sins once burned. Just one more night to face what I know and leave something honest on that gravel road. Sing me a gravel road requiem for the wild ones gone and the man I've been, for the broken wheels and the promises burned, for every lesson I was too proud to learn. Let the dust rise high, let the night unfold. I got scars for silver and regret for gold, till my last breath falls where the cold winds blow. Sing me a requiem on that gravel road. Yeah. I poured 3 shots in the Tennessee dirt, one for the dead, one for the hurt, one for the fool still wearing his skin, trying like hell to be human again.